ServSafe Alcohol Practice Exam 2 Q&A. What should you do if guests insist on driving after service has been stopped? Call the police. A guest who appeared very shy upon arrival at the establishment is now being loud and using foul language. Which sign of intoxication is this guest exhibiting? Relaxed inhibitions. In many states, it is illegal for operations to allow drinking games such as pong and quarters. Which food is mostly likely to slow the absorption of alcohol into the bloodstream? Cheese sticks. Which of these will result in a reduction of alcohol in a person's bloodstream? Passage of time. What should you do if a guest is intoxicated when he arrives at your establishment? Make sure he gets home safely. If a man and a woman drank 4 12-ounce beers in an hour, which one will, most likely, have the higher BAC? The woman. If you are not certain that an ID is valid, what should you do? Ask the guest for a second valid ID. John drank 6 12-ounce beers from 9 p.m. to 12 a.m. How many drinks still remain in his bloodstream? 3. An ID that has expired is no longer valid. What should you do to verify that an ID belongs to a guest? Compare the guest to the physical characteristics on the ID. What is true when serving a group of guests with a designated driver? You cannot serve the guests to the point of intoxication. Once you have stopped service to a guest, what is the next step? Offer food and non-alcoholic beverages. What is BAC? Percentage of alcohol in the bloodstream. How many drinks are in a 60-ounce pitcher of beer? 5 drinks. In most states, how old must you be to purchase alcohol? 21. What must an ID contain in order to be valid? Signature. What must you always do when checking an ID with an ID reader? Compare the readout with the information on the ID. Which drinks contain the same amount of alcohol? 5 ounces of wine, 12 ounces of beer, 1/2 ounces of 80 proof liquor, 1 ounce of 100 proof liquor. A person who switches to larger or stronger drinks is demonstrating what sign of intoxication? Impaired judgment. What does civil liability mean for sellers or servers of alcohol? They can be sued and forced to pay damages for injuries. Which is an example of a criminal violation? Serving alcohol to a guest who appears to be intoxicated. Which behavior is a sign that a guest is experiencing impaired motor coordination? Relaxed inhibitions. 2 guests who were happy upon arriving at your establishment are now beginning to argue. You don't sense any immediate danger to you or other guests. What should you do? Notify your manager to determine what to do. Who can be sued in a dram shop case? The business owner, and employees. What steps should be taken after stopping service? Inform coworkers that service has been stopped for the individual. Criminal violations of alcohol-related law may result in what? Jail time. What does the use of a vertical format on an ID indicate? The ID was issued to someone under 21. Who will have a higher BAC, a guest who is drinking a 2-ounce martini, or a guest drinking a 12-ounce beer? The guest drinking the martini. When should an employee begin assessing guests for signs of intoxication? When a guest first arrives at the establishment. What should you do before stopping service to a guest? Alert a backup. A guest requests a rum and cola made with 1.5 ounces of 100 proof rum. How many standards drinks does this contain? 1.5. A person who is talking or moving slowly is demonstrating what sign of intoxication? Slowed reaction time. Liquor licenses are issued and monitored by the Liquor Authority. A guest has a birthday of February 5, 1999. In what year do they turn 21? 2020. When stopping service, which statement should be avoided? You're drunk and you've had enough. A guest shows you an ID with a blank back. What does this tell you about the ID? The ID is fake. What is the best type of food for preventing intoxication? Food high in fat. A person who is swaying or staggering when walking is demonstrating what sign of intoxication? Impaired motor coordination. When a person drinks alcohol, which organ absorbs most of the alcohol into the bloodstream? Small intestine.